All right, in reaction number 5 of the copper again cycle, we are starting now with the copper substance, which is copper 2 chloride. It's a solution here, and I've had it in an ice bath for a few minutes so that it's really cold. And the purpose of this is to slow the reaction down so that it isn't too vigorous, and it's a way to kind of control it. The reaction requires me to add a piece of aluminum wire. So this is aluminum wire, and I'm going to simply insert that into the copper chloride solution. Now, as we watch the reaction, we can start to see something take place. As you can see from the video, you should start to see the presence of bubbles appearing around the surface of the metal. And that's where the reaction is taking place, is at the surface of the metal. And we're going to start to see, again, that's one way of indicating chemical reaction taking place, is the formation of bubbles. But also you'll notice that that gray, you can see now because of the fact, see how aggressive the reaction has become. And a good thing that this reaction was put in water to try to control it. If you can see, if not, sometimes I've seen that this reaction kind of bubble and almost shoot out of the test tube. Okay. Now this reaction takes a long time to finalize. So what I'm going to do instead is show you what happens when you let it sit. And this one has been sitting for over a day. And so my students who are showing up to class will now, next time we meet in a cycle, we'll be able to take final appearance of the observation of the compound. So here we do still see the piece of aluminum inside of it, but the copper compound now has become this red material there. And there's also a clear, colorless solution that is formed. Right there, you get a good look at that. So that is the color and the state of the substances that remain. Again, there's the piece of the aluminum wire that has not reacted. There was more than enough copper wire that was added to this vessel, but there is the products of step 5. Now, what I'm going to have students do the last day of class is now they're going to pull some of that solid out and put that into a test tube. And now you'll notice that this is solid state copper, but it doesn't look nothing like the first original type of refined copper. So how can I truly confirm that this substance is indeed copper and not some other red solid? Well, I'm going to come back and we're going to add nitric acid to this test tube. So what we're going to do is we're going to repeat step 1 with this red solid. Now, if this is copper, nitric acid should dissolve it. And along with dissolving it, if there's truly copper in there, the solution should start to turn blue. So you can start to see bubbles forming here, so a reaction is starting to take place. The copper is starting to react with the nitric acid. And if this is indeed copper, what we should start to see is the solution should start to turn blue in appearance, just like it did in step 1. So we're repeating step 1 as the way to confirm that this material is indeed copper and it was not some other type of material. And there you can start to see it turn color. You're starting to see the presence of the blue solution, which now does indeed confirm the presence of copper. And the gas that's forming off of it is, again, that nitrogen dioxide, which is not good to breathe in. So I'm going to stop this video very quickly. But you can see that indeed it has dissolved and formed a nice blue solution, and the confirmation of copper is confirmed. So this is the completion of the copper. Now this step, this very last final confirmation of copper, is something you don't have to worry about in the packet. You just needed to worry about when it got to this red solid here. But we just did the confirmation to show that indeed that red solid that did form at the end of step 5 was copper. And that's what I'm going to do for students that show up to class. If you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, fill in your template, all 4 pages. And then when you're done with that, submit the completed template for your last lab grade for quarter 3.